Hello everyone, welcome to Zoho SalesIQ. Hope all of you are doing great and healthy. I'm Naveen and today I'm going to be explaining you how you can build a bot for your business specific workflow without any coding knowledge. We have our product experts on the panel here, so if you have any questions as I run through the topics, please do ask them in the Q&A section and we'll get them answered right away. Apart from that, we do have a dedicated discussion session at the very end of this webinar where you can ask your questions and discuss with us about the future of codeless bots. Before we dive into the session, let's take a look at today's agenda. First, I'll tell you what Zoho SalesIQ is for those who are new here, and then we'll discuss who can use Zoho SalesIQ. And after that, we can take a look at what are the effects these bots will have on your business after implementing them. And then we'll take a look at the types of bots in Zoho SalesIQ. And after that, we'll be creating a code-free Zobot, which is the codeless bot that fits your business requirements. And finally, we'll be taking a look at how you can extend the functionality of these codeless bots by using plugs. So without further ado, let's get into this session. What is Zoho SalesIQ? Zoho SalesIQ is a real-time customer engagement and support platform that helps your sales, support, marketing, and customer success teams. By implementing SalesIQ on your website, you can reach out to your visitors and support them in real time. SalesIQ also comes feature-packed with features like live chat, live view, knowledge base, triggers for engagements, mobile SDK, bots, and much more. So what Zoho SalesIQ does is that it simply takes your static website and turns it into a dynamic one by creating a bridge between your website visitors and operators by allowing them to connect with your operators in real time. Moving on. What are bots? What are bots in Zoho SalesIQ? So bots are the most efficient way to automate your customer engagement and support on your website. Bots in SalesIQ can break the ice by starting the conversation and provide solution to visitors and also perform business specific function based on your requirements. Now let's see the effects of bots in your business. So these bots will be available round the clock. So unlike your actual operators, they do not need time to rest and they can be available anytime on your website. They can also provide automated support to your visitors. And bots can also proactively engage with your visitors without them having to start the conversation first. Bots can also provide personalized assistance based on the visitor's type. So if a visitor is a CRM user, you can provide a different type of workflow assistance to them. And if the visitor is a new visitor, you can provide a different flow of assistance to them. So like that, bots can provide visitor-based assistance. And then we have the reduced operator workload. So bots can actually take a big chunk of operators workload and make it much more easier for your operators to assist and prioritize very important visitors. And we also have very simple bots such as the answer bot to basically use your articles and resources in your knowledge base to assist visitors. So they can assist visitors with the general questions that can be asked by the visitors regarding your business. So now let's take a look at the types of bots in Zoho SalesIQ. In Zoho SalesIQ, we have two types of bots. One is a very simple resource-based answer bot. And next, we have the complex, flexible, and powerful business-specific Zobot. So these bots are two entirely different bots. So we have different tutorials and videos regarding with setting up the answer bot. So if you want to set up a very simple answer bot that just uses the articles and FAQs to assist visitors on your website, you can do that without any time building up a bot. But Zobot, on the other hand, is very powerful. It can perform business specific functions and it can undergo complex flows. It can also integrate with external application, and we have two options of building this Zobot. You can either use our low code codeless bots or go with the high code options such as Deluge or your own bot building platforms using webhooks. So now let's see the main focus of today's webinar, which is the codeless bot. So what are codeless bots? So codeless bots are code-free, rule-based chatbots that uses flows to design and build your bot based on your specific requirements. So these bots can be created without any coding skills just by using the drag and drop interface. We also have much more powerful tools that these bots can be used, and all of these can be done without any coding knowledge. These bots can be used to generate qualified leads, capture data, personalize visitors flow, and all of those things. You can also integrate with other third-party applications. So now let's have a look at a demo of Codeless bot on our website. So here we have our website. So we have Zoho SalesIQ already added to our website right here. So on the bottom right corner, you can see this coin widget right here. So if you click on it, the Zoho SalesIQ's chat window is going to pop up. So if you have auto trigger enabled in the codeless bot, the bot is going to do the job of breaking the ice. So it's going to start the conversation automatically. But right now we have it disabled. So I'm just going to say hi right here, and the bot is going to pick up the chat. So here you can see something is typing. So here we have a bot picking up the chat right here. So here the bot has sent me a welcome text, and then it's asking me a question. So here I have a bunch of different options. So the bot is going to take me through different flows based on my choice. So if I select the deed of the day, it's going to show me a different response. And if I select I want to buy or just browsing, it's going to show me a different response. So for this example, I'm going to go with just browsing. And here the bot has replied, like, it is asking me, are you interested to buy something now, or are you looking forward to buy our future products? So I don't want to buy a phone now, so I'm just going to say upcoming. So I'm looking forward to the upcoming products. So here the bot is showing me two different upcoming products. So it's showing me a suggestion with an image and also the price and expected date of release. So it's asking me again, like, would you want to get notified on the launch? So here I'm just gonna click on yes, and now it's collecting my name. So what it's gonna do is that it's gonna collect my name and then sync it with Zoho CRM and then send me a confirmation mail. So I'm just gonna give my name right here. Now it's asking me for my phone number. So either I can provide my phone number, or if I want to skip, I can just skip it. And now the conversation has ended. But on the back side, what the bot is going to do is that it's going to take all of this information, it's going to sync it with Zoho CRM, and then send me a follow-up mail of confirmation. So we're going to be looking how to build this exact flow from scratch using our codeless bot builder. So here, now let's just go back to the Zoho SalesIQ portal. So here you can see, this would be the Zoho SalesIQ's dashboard. So to create a bot, let's see how we can do that. So all you have to do is go to settings, go to Zobot, and here you have to click on add. So just give your bot a name. So I'm just going to go with Zia, and here in the choose the platform option, yeah, you can choose different kinds of platforms. So for Zobots, we have multiple platforms available with which you can build your business specific bot. But in this webinar, we're going to be focusing on the codeless bot builder.
So here I'm just gonna click on Codeless bot builder and click next. So you can give a description for your bot. So and pick a brand that you want to add the bot to. So just I'm just gonna click on this brand, and here I'm just gonna click next. So now you have to set up your bots. So these are the prerequisites to set up a Zobot. So this would be common to all Zobots. So first you have to choose the audience criteria. So here, if you choose all visitors, the bot is going to engage with all your visitors. And you can also add, also have bots to engage with only a particular set of visitors. So for example, if you want your bots to engage with your CRM contacts, or if you want your bots to engage with visitors from a different region, you can do all of that. So here you can see we have different criteria. So let's just say you have a payment page, and where you have a bot that can assess visitors based on their payment issues and other stuffs. So you can just add a title called payment, and you can just save. So but for this example, we'll go with a real estate example. So here I'm gonna go with region. So for me, I want my city to be Los Angeles, and I'm just gonna click done. So the bot is gonna just trigger visitors from Los Angeles. So here next I have to set up when the bot should initiate a conversation. So if you want a bot to start up a conversation instead of the visitor to start first, you can add a bot trigger here. So here you can see that we have multiple options. So selecting this option will allow the bot to start a conversation after a particular amount of time defined here. The bot's going to start a conversation as soon as the visitor lands on your website. Or if you want the bot to start a conversation only when the visitor clicks on the chat widget, you can choose this option. Or if you want the visitor to start a if you want the bot to start a conversation when a visitor performs a custom action. So for example, here we have a button called shop now. So if you want the bot to initiate a conversation when a visitor clicks on this button, you can add your own custom action using the custom action option. Next, we have the response interval. So if you want your bot to sound more humane and less robotic, you can add delays to your bot response. So this would make the visitor feel like they are talking to a human being. So having interval with sending back-to-back messages would actually make the bot much more human-like. Next, we have chat inactivity action. So if a visitor refuses or ignores the bot conversation, you can have chat inactivity actions configured. So for example, if the chat is just ignored for a lot of time, for just say 5 minutes, if the visitor does not respond to the bot's conversation, the bot can then text send out a response message reminding that the conversation is still going on. You can also have the bot to automatically end the conversation for, let's just say, 20 minutes. After 20 minutes of inactivity, the bot can automatically end the conversation. And you can also allow handoff to other operators. So if this option is enabled, every time they will get the option to connect with a human operator will be available all the time. So here you can see that. Just a minute, I'm just going to go click here and start. So here you can see that there is no option to connect with a human operator. So the person now has to go to with the bot's flow. But with this option enabled, they'll get a small option that allows them to connect with a human operator anytime they want to. And next we have the forward message actions. So you can also have the uh, so this as soon as a human operator connects after the forward option is completed, this message can be shown. So you can have text like you are now connected with this operator, like that. So that's the forward message function. So next we're gonna just click create, and so after setting up the prerequisite of the codeless bot, this is the page that we will land into. So this is what we call the codeless bot building playground. So here you can see all the different cards. So each of these cards will represent the action that the bot does. So you can have multiple different flows based on your business requirements. So before we dive into the building process, I'll just explain the terms used in Zobot building platform right here, and then we'll start building the bot. So here this is what we call a card. So a card represents the action that the bot does in that particular instance. So this would be a card. So what this card would do is that it would show this text right here. So and this is what we call a card holder. So a card holder can, as the name suggests, would hold a card. And if you click on the card holder, you would reveal what we call a block gallery. So here you can see bunch of blocks. So blocks are the actions that the card that the bot can do. So here we have a quick reply block. We have these blocks categorized into different categories. So if you want the bot to show a response, you might want to pick one from the response block. And to get inputs, you can pick a block from the input blocks section. Like that, we have different blocks categorized. So if you drag and drop a block to a card holder and then configure it and click and save it, it becomes a card. So now that becomes an action that the bot actually does. So I'm just deleting it. And on the bottom right corner here we have a bunch of different controls. So here we have the undo option, and we have the redo option if you want to undo the undo. And then we have the reset zoom option. We have the fit screen option. If you have a very big bot flow, you can click on it to view all the flow in just a single screen. And then we have the auto arrange option. So if you have a cut it up workspace, you can just click on it to auto arrange and make it much more pleasing to see. So next we have the zoom in and zoom out option. We also have the preview option where you can test out your bot once before deploying it on your website. And on the top here you can see the different version history. So if you have published the bot and the next time you edit it, you can see all the version history right here. And this is the publish button. So once the bot is ready, you can click on it to deploy it in your website. So now let's start building the bot. So we're just gonna build a bot for our e-commerce site. We're just gonna build a bot that we just saw. So I just gave a demo on how the bot would work on your website. So we're just gonna try to recreate that process. So here in the welcome block card, we have a predefined text right here. So you can change it based on your requirement. Hi, welcome to Silver Store. So here you can see we can type out our message and make it much more customize it to based on our preference. And I'm just going to click save. So it's saved. So as soon as I send out this welcome message, I would want to know more about my visitors. So I would ask them questions and get information from them. So here for that I want to use an input block. So here we have input blocks. So under input blocks, to get a particular info and provide suggestion based on that, we would want to use the button block. So here this is the button block. So here I can ask the visitor different question, and based on their answer I can give them different suggestions. So this would result in multiple different flows. So here I can say
Hi, how can I help you today? So I've just asked a question and now I can show them different answers. So, dear of the day, just browsing my orders. And I'm just gonna click save. So this would show the visitor all of these three options, and the visitor can click one of the option and it will take them to that particular flow. So here we can see that we have now branched into three different flows, so we can have three different entirely different flow for each of these options. So right now for this demo I'm just gonna go with the just browsing option. So here I'm just gonna click on it. So as soon as the visitor chooses the just browsing option, I would want to ask them another question. So here I just want to ask the visitor if they are interested in the current products that we have right now, or if they want to get notified on the upcoming products. So if they are planning to buy right now, they can take a look at the launch product, or if they are planning to buy in the future, they can have a look at the upcoming products. So for that, again, I'm gonna be using a button card. So here I'm just dragging and dropping it, and now I'm just gonna say, great game, let me give you a look around. So are you looking to buy something now, or are you looking forward to our upcoming products? So for that I have two more replies. So here upcoming launched. So I'm just going to delete the third option. So the visitor can select any of these two options. So I'm just going to click save. So this is saved right now, and if the visitor clicks on the upcoming, I would want to show them different upcoming products. So we'll just see what we built. Right, on my website I have a completely built, fully ready uh, a, a codeless bot for the e-commerce purpose. So we just take a look at how it looks on our website. So here I'm just sending out a message, and the codeless bot is gonna pick up, and here you can see, so this bot is completely built. So this is how it's gonna look after we complete building this current bot that we are working on. So I'm just gonna go with just browsing, and here you can see that we are getting different suggestions. I'm just gonna go with upcoming, and here we can see that we have two different suggestions right here. So here I'm just to show these kind of suggestions, we would want to use the quick reply card. So here I'm just going to drag and drop this, and I'm just gonna try to recreate this in our current bot. So I'm just gonna paste it right here, and for the image, you can upload an image from your computer. So right here I have it saved, so I'll just save it to my computer. And now I can simply drag it and drop it. So I'm just making sure I select the entire image. So if you just want to crop a particular portion, you can do so. I'm just clicking on save the entire image. So now I'm just going to click on save. So here you can see that we have the entire card right here. I'm just going to do the same for the next one. So I'm just going to drag it and drop it, copy it. Just going to save this image. select the entire image and click on upload. So now if the visitor clicks on the upcoming option, they will be shown these two cards. So here, this is how it would look in the visitor side. So this is how it's going to look. So here again, I'm going to ask another question. So I'm going to say, these are the upcoming collections, so would you want to be notified on the launch? So here again, I'm going to be using a button card. So I'm just going to copy this text and paste it right here. And for this, I would want to show two options. One is yes and two is no. Good. Going to delete the third one and click save. So if the visitor clicks on yes, what I would want to do is that I would want them to be added to our Zoho CRM records and then send a confirmation mail, and then in the future I would have a task created in Zoho CRM and then follow up it right there. But on our side, I would want to add them to our Zoho CRM records and then send a confirmation email. So that would be the process that we do on the backend. So to do so, first we would need to collect the visitor's information. So right now we would not know much about the visitor. So if you don't have pre-chat forms enabled, you would not know the visitor's name, their email, or anything. So you can't really add them to Zoho CRM, and it would have no context. So for that, to collect their info, we would use the data blocks. So here we have the data blocks. So right now I'm just dragging and dropping the name block, and here I'm just gonna say, can I know your name please? And then I'm just gonna click on save. And for the next step, I would want to collect their email address. So can you and now I want to click save. So now we've collected their email address, and third, I would want to collect their phone number. So here you can see we can have a predefined country. So if you operate from a single country, you can choose your country right here. The visitor can change the country code anytime during the bot conversation. So here I'm just gonna choose this option. So if you don't want to mandate this information, you can just allow visitors to skip this. I'm just gonna click save, and then now we have the phone number also. And if you want to collect custom fields such as age or other things, so for example, for a simple example, we just go with age. So here you can choose the type, so it would be age or something like that, or you could add something like your city or something like anything that you want. So I'm just gonna say please age, and here you would want to save them into context. So I'm just gonna say visitor. So this would save them to this particular ID, and then you can use that particular data anytime in the future in the bot or in your Zoho CRM. I'm just gonna click on save, and now we have collected all of these information. And now what I would want to do is that I would want to sync all of this data with Zoho CRM. So for that, I would want to add the Zoho CRM associate lead block, and right here. So now I'm just going to set it up. Just going to click on visitor name, just give lead.id, and then you can also handle errors right here. So here you can show an error message if the integration is not active, or if the Zoho CRM record already exists in Zoho CRM, you can go with a different flow for that. So I'm just gonna click save right here. It's just taking a bit of time to save. Sorry. Now the bot flow is saved. So here you can see a bunch of different flows for each of the response. So if it's a success, what we're going to do is that we're going to send a confirmation mail, and we're going to say that they will be notified in the future. So here I'm just going to drag and drop send email card right here, and 2 would be the email address of the visitor. And I can also add different I can copy it to different admins of the portal. So for the subject, thank you for your trust in store. And here you can type out your entire message. So I'm just gonna say so here you can see I've typed out the entire message right here. And you can also use dynamic text to customize, to personalize this subject to this email content. You can also add advanced error handling here right here. So if you don't have email configuration available, you can show a different error message. So for now I'm just going to skip it and click on save. So now we have another 2 different flows. So before moving on, we'll just handle all of these open ones. So if it's a failure, so if the integration is inactive, or if it's a failure, if it's a record, if the record already exists, we can just go ahead and send the email right away. But if it's a failure, I would want to show them something a failure text. So for this, this could happen maybe because your integration is not active, or if their email address is not there. So I'm just going to say if the integration is not active, I could use the go to card to actually tell them to actually send them to a different flow. So here what I would want to do is that this flow is obviously not possible, so I can send them right to this very second card, and I could ask them to select some other flow. So I can choose the card number 2 right here. So that would be the button card 2, and click on save. So what this would do is that this would send the visitor back to this place, and they could choose a different flow and go from there. And if it's due to a failure, we can show them a different it could be of various reasons. So one of the reasons might be due to incorrect email or something. So for that, again, I'm going to use a go to card to say to provide their email address again. So before doing that, just gonna go their email card, and I'm just gonna click save. Now it'll go back to this email card, so they can enter their email again, and this time it might work. Now, having handled the errors, we can go back to the current card. So here we have the send email card. So if it's a success, we can show them a success message and end the conversation right there. So here I'm just going to use the end block right here. So I'm just gonna type out a message, and then end the conversation after the message is shown. It's taking a bit time right here. So here you can see, thank you for your interest. We will notify once before the launch. And then I'm just gonna click save. So it will show this message and end the conversation. For failure, you can again use a go to card, or you can use a forward card. So what this forward card would do is that it would forward them to an actual operator. There was an error, please
connecting with live support, and then we can we can forward this card to an actual operator. So by default it would just ring up the conversation in your portal and an operator can pick it up. So if you wanted to transfer it to a selected operator, you can do so, but I'm just going to go with available operators at the moment and then click on save. So here we have a bunch of different flows for each of this, so we'll just address it real quick. So if the operators are offline, we can just show an operator busy card. So what it would do is that it would say that the operators are busy at the moment, please leave a message. So this would just get a message from the visitor and end it. And then if it's an invalid option, we can, so if operators are not available, we can show the same, and if it's invalid, we can just end the conversation right here. We can use the end card again. So here we have closed all the nodes. So what it would do is that now it will get their CRM details, sync it with their sync it with our Zoho CRM account, and then send a confirmation email and then close the conversation. So now let's just test it out right here in our pre-built bot. I'm just going to choose yes, and here it's asking me for my name. I'm just going to go with James, and here it's asking me for my company name. Just going to go with Zilker. Provide my email and my phone number. I can skip without providing it, and here it's just going to close it. But on the back side, all of these operations will be executed. So now let's just test it out in our preview right here. So as we preview, we can see what cards are being used in using our highlight feature. So here you can see as the function is executed, the current card will be highlighted. So I'm just going to choose just browsing, and it's going to go here, and I'm just going to choose upcoming, and here you can see it's shown right here, and I'm just going to click on yes. Just going to press here, press circle.com. I can skip the phone number, and here you can see the age has been asked. I'm just going to say 26, and it's closed. So it's going to send a message, and then it's showing, so it's a success. So since this message is shown, we can confirm that this is a success, and if there was an error, this message would be shown. So in order to publish this bot, so let's just try publishing this bot right now, and here you can see it's not being published. So that means that there are open nodes, so there are open bot card holders right here. So we have to complete all the flow in order to publish the bot. So for just this purpose, I'm just gonna link all the cards right here so we can publish it and check. Just gonna link it right here. I'm just gonna use an end card for this. And now before we publish it, I would want let me just test it out. So now you can see the bot is published successfully. So now this bot will be live on our website. So before we move on with the next process, we'll take a look at the other cards that are available in our Codeless bot builder. So here I'm just gonna choose and disconnect this one. So here you can see we have a new card holder. So now I'm going to talk about plugs. So what are plugs? So let's just say you have some limitations that these cards does not
offer. So we have a bunch of different cards right here, and even if all of these cards do not fulfill your business requirement or your bot's requirement, you can have your custom function built and added to Codeless bot using plugs. So these plugs would be a hybrid method, so you have to design these plugs using code, and then you can bring them into Codeless bot and use them without having to know any code. So let's go and see how the plugs works. So here you can see, I'm just closing this part right here. So what are plugs? So plugs are something that can extend the functionality of the Codeless bot. So right here we have a lot of cards, right? But if you could not find a card that fits your requirement, you can use plugs to extend the functionality. So here we have a bunch of cards, but if you could not find a card that is suitable for your bot specific requirement, you could use plugs to make the bot do the function that you want. So here we have the plugs card. So for this you have to use code to build it. So now I'm going to show you how to build a plug right here. So just go back, and on the settings page here under the developer section we have plugs. So here you can go and click on add. So here you can type out a name. So for example, let's just say orders. If you want, you can type out a description. So I'm gonna build a plug that shows visitors previous orders. So if a visitor wants to know their previous order, I'm gonna use this plug to show that. So I can choose two different platforms to build that plug. So I can either go with the Zoho SalesIQ's proprietary scripts, or I can use webhooks to build plugs with my own platform. So I'm just going to go with scripts right now, and I'm just going to click on create plug. So now it would be, if you are familiar with the SalesIQ scripts platform, this is called Deluge, and Deluge uses code to build very powerful Zobots, and you can also build widgets with it. So now we have the plugs editor loaded up. So here you have to code the function of the plug. So here you can see we have a bunch of code. So I'm going to skip the coding part. So you can customize this code to fit your business specific requirements. So I'm just going to go with publish. So that's how simple it would be to actually design and publish a plug. So once you've published, so actually we already have a custom plug built to view our visitors previous order. So here we have a plug called previous orders. So we're going to use this plug to and use this plug inside the Codeless bot that we just built, and see how it's gonna use the plug to extend the functionality of the Codeless bot and show the visitors previous orders. So now let's see how to add the plug that we just created into our Codeless bot. So we are back in our Codeless bot building playground, and here on the button card 2, if the visitor clicks on the my orders option, I want to show their previous orders. So for that, first we would want to know the visitor's information, and for that we need to collect the information. So just like the other flow, we are going to use the data blocks to get the visitor's name and email address. So with this we can see if they have any orders in their cart. So I'm just adding a name data block and then an email data block. I'm just clicking save, and now I'm dragging and dropping a plug card right here. And now we're going to configure the plugs card. So after dropping the plugs card, you have to choose the plug. I'm just choosing previous order, and now I'm choosing email right here, and I'm configuring the variables. So here on the left hand side we have the plug outputs, and so we have to assign a unique variable for each of these outputs. So for each I'm just giving a variable, so you can just have your own variable typed out. So for order id I'm just giving order id, and for delivery date I'm giving delivery date, and for pay I'm just using pay method, and like so. So after typing all the variable, you can show these variable using other cards. So here I'm just going to click save, and if it's a success I can show the order details. So here I'm using a quick reply card and dragging and dropping it. So here I'm just going to use those variable that I just created to get to show display the data to the visitor. So here you can see I'm just using markdowns to make the to make the process much more, to make the output much more pleasing. So I'm just typing out the heading right now, and now see I'm just using, so the star would be for to bold the order id, and now hyphen. So after pressing the percentage symbol, I can see that the variable that we just created here is visible here. So you can, these variable would now contain the output from the plugs, and it will be shown to the visitor. So here for the order name I'm using the order.name variable that we just created. And now for the quantity I'm going to use the quantity variable that we just created. And like so we can create, we're gonna add all the different information that we're gonna show the visitor, and the variable for that information side to it. And now I'm just choosing the delivery date right here, and now I'm gonna choose the payment method. So I'm just using the star to bold it, so it's gonna look much better when it's shown to the visitor. And now I'm just checking it once, and I'm gonna click, you can also add images if you want to, but right now I'm just gonna click save, and here you have it. So you can also handle failure, so for a failure card. So right now I'm just going to close, if the if there are no previous orders, we can just take them back to the number 2 card, right, to the very beginning card. So here you can see, sorry, we couldn't find any previous orders, so they can go back to the second card that they came in, and then they could explore other options. So I'm using a go to block right here, and I'm just taking them back to the number 2 card. So that would be button number 2. And now I'm just going to close this open node right here. I'm just going to choose an end card and then click save. So that's how easy it is to add a plug to your Codeless bot. So now let's just test it out. So here I'm just going to choose my orders. I'm going to type out the name. Now it's going to ask me for my email. I'm going to type out my email. And see, right here we have the order details. So based on the visitor's email, if they have any existing orders, it's going to show. So the function happens in the plugs, but the plugs can be used in the Codeless bot. So this is how you can efficiently improve your Codeless bot's functionality using plugs. So here you can use the auto arrange and fit screen to view the entire bot's code. So this is just a simple example. So back here, we have a fully built Zobot for our e-commerce website that I just demoed in the very beginning of this webinar. So this is how a fully built bot for a e-commerce site is going to look like. So here you can see it has a bunch of different complex flows, and it's very flexible and powerful. So here we have used cards like send mail card, integration cards. You can see we have handled all the errors efficiently. You can also see we have used cards like criteria router that shows different options based on these preset conditions. So if the visitor is from Canada, it's going to show a Canada offer, and if they're from UK, it's going to show a UK offer, and like so. We also have support related cards. So here you can see we have different cards. So here you can see a desk card that handles support tickets and everything. So this is another integration to handle tickets, automate ticket handling process using Zobots. So this is how efficiently you could build a bot with zero coding. Just if you want to extend, you might have to add plugs, which might require a little bit effort in coding. And with that, we come to the very end of this session. So I hope this session was helpful. I'm really glad to be hosting this session for you. I hope you found this session really helpful. So right now we'll go to the Q&A section, and if you have any questions, you can unmute. I'm going to give you a mic access, and you can unmute and ask your questions, or you can ask your question in the Q&A section. So again, thank you for attending this webinar. Until next time, thank you and have a very nice day.